Hey, welcome. 333. Feel the synchronicity with me. Man. Copping colloidals. Wonder what time it go. Dripping in minerals. We feeling magnificent today, folks. 7-pointed crown and my amethyst now. Yeah. If you listen close, you can hear the sound of the gemstone. Wow. Yeah. Spirals all around. Yeah. Electric dreams underground. Mining for the gold. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Sitting in a quiet room, but your thoughts so loud. Yeah. So many cycles completed. Energy depleted. Little high vibrational frequency music. That ultralight still beaming. Roses while everybody's coming in. Yeah. So many cycles completed. The brother Free Soul, excuse me. His queen. As we interface with the elements, we can elevate in this resonance. We rise with grace and elegance. Our magic is evident. Yeah. Shine, guide, protect us. Because it's part of a mix, but gems deep in the ground, living my vibe now. From the most welcome, worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. Man, we've been sitting here just vibing since 3:33, enjoying the synchronization, letting folks pile in. Come on in. Somebody's in here with me. Welcome. Please announce yourself in the chat if you feel comfortable. I love to say what's up to you. Hi, welcome. Whatever greeting you prefer, I'm glad to see you. True indeed. Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. I have to say this, folks. And in no means do I take any sort of credit for any of these artists' incredible talents, gifts, and skills and abilities that they apply to put forth all that they're offering. But I'm going to tell you, I manifested something. I wanted to see the beauty. Welcome, somebody else. Come on in, announce yourself, say hi. Let us say hi back to you. And I manifested that we would see hip hop return to what I consider as beautiful glory, right? Anybody that know me knows I've been into hip hop since I was in the 5th grade, and I'm 51 years old, huh? Probably even before that, but yeah, man, I wanted to see the birth of a new genre, in fact, right? Because so much gets confused between what's rap and what's hip hop and all of that, because people really don't know much about the culture that hip hop is, right? But I wanted to see a genre termed, or at least I termed it, pure hip hop, right? And I'm now seeing some of these newer artists, man, they coming on the scene with some of the illest music. Brother Free Soul, Brother Londrell, Atheon Blake, man, Brother Spiritual Tony. These cats, you know, are to me, right? It just warms me over because these cats is manifesting the vision that I had. Right now, pure hip hop is here, so that's magnificent. All right, I had to say that because you know we talk about manifestation and all that, right? So that's one thing that I really pour in, and of course my album is out, and the second album is in the works. For any of those who don't know, yeah, but it's rewarding, you know, to see things come into fruition like that when you pour your energy and your intent into it and you see it actually manifest. like, wait a minute, this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is exactly what I wanted to see. That's beautiful. All right, folks. So today we are discussing, as I sent out in the text, inviting everyone that the subject matter today is about balancing your chakra system uh, as best we can on a daily basis in order to optimize or increase or to some degree aid your overall health, the health of all your organs and all your bodily systems, right? Because your energy, just so I back it up a little bit, right? What are chakras? Well, chakras are energetic vortexes. What is a vortex? A vortex is pretty much like a swirling pool of energy, right? We are very much energetic beings. I hope that by now, most of us, I'm pretty sure, know that, right? We are very much energetic beings. Uh, um, and that goes, even our physical body carries an electromagnetic charge, if you didn't know that. That's when you have instances where it's static electricity, it's not only that there's the ions and electrons in the atmosphere wherever you're at that you're stimulating, right? But also it's coinciding with your own electromagnetic charge. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic. Your chakras are your pools of their swirling pools of energy that we would label a vortex, right? These energy vortexes coincide and are intermingled energetically with your just about your every bodily system, all of your organs in some way correlate to and intertwined with or entangled with your energetic vortexes or your chakras, right? Um, Now we will go and I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about how your chakras coincide to your different organs and bodily systems and which ones do that, right? This is just, by the way, there are different schools of thought on this, right? Um, they're all generally in the ballpark saying the same thing, but there are different schools of thought that may give you slightly different correlations. But what we have in general, um, the seventh, that's another thing about your chakras. There are many chakras, folks, right? You are also multidimensional beings, all right? And as multidimensional beings, you have actually correlating chakras that are also multidimensional. So we could go on and on about chakras, and some people in different groups and schools of thought may entertain or name different numbers of chakras, but we all pretty much agree on the core seven, right? All right. And your core seven being your root chakra, your navel chakra, right? Your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra, right? All right. Now, in terms of their correlation to your bodily system, so your root chakra is located at the base of your spine, of course. And this is associated with the kidneys, your bladder, your bones, your actual skeletal system, and the adrenal glands. All right. Okay. The sacral or navel chakra, some people call it the sacral or sacral chakra as well, is located below the navel. The chakra is associated primarily with the reproductive organs and your entire reproductive system. All right. Uh, the solar plexus chakra in the upper abdomen. You can't see me pointing too much. I don't have a full body view. But the solar plexus chakra in the upper abdomen is the chakra that's associated with the spleen and pancreas function. All right. Okay. Now, your heart chakra is located in the center of your chest, right? This chakra is associated, of course, with your heart, and you know that your heart is your electromagnetic generator, so to speak, in your physical body, but also with the thymus gland. All right. Your throat chakra, located in the throat, this chakra is associated with the thyroid and parathyroid glands. All right. Your third eye chakra, located between the eyebrows, right where we envision our third eye. This chakra is associated primarily with the pituitary gland and the pituitary glands, pardon me. And there are some other endocrine functions as well that it's associated with. And then we have, lastly, out of the 7, the crown chakra, right? Located at the top of the head, or some say right directly above the head. This chakra is associated with the pineal gland. Now, they refer to it as a pineal gland. I refer to it as the pineal organ. We know the difference between bodily fluid generators and bodily fluid secretors. Glands are generally secreting mechanisms, right? Where organs generally produce the fluids or some other bodily function. All right. So those are the 7 chakra in general groupings, right? To your organs and the bodily systems that associate with each chakra. Now, I'll take it a step beyond and talk a little bit about your auric bodies, right? Your auric body, so your aura. A lot of us can think in reference our aura, right? Welcome, please announce yourself if you like. I like to say hi to you. We're talking to Buildin today about balancing your chakras and utilizing that as a means to increase function and aid in whatever way the healthy function of your organs and bodily systems, right? I talked about the fact that we are indeed very much so energetic beings. And that goes, of course, obviously for all of our organs. Your organs carry electromagnetic charges through them and have to, in fact, maintain specific levels, right, in order to have healthy function. So that very much has to do with the correlating energy vortex that is your chakra that correlates with that particular organ or that bodily system, right? So also you have your aura, or more specifically or more correctly stated, your auric bodies, right? Because it is more than one aura that you can see if you have the ability to see it electromagnetically. Now, all of this has been measured, right? This is not me making any of this up. Do your own independent research and studies, as I say, always. And you'll find tons of data out there from studies and experiments done, recording and categorizing and giving specific correlation between these energy vortexes and the function of these bodily systems, right, and organs. All right. So again, the auras, right? Because it's not just your one aura. Your aura is in layers, or some refer to it as bodies, however you want to refer to it, right? So you see it emanating outward from your center, right? Um, if you wanted to number them in accordance with your chakras, you could, because each of your auric bodies correlates. Now we're talking about the core seven, correlates to a specific chakra, right? The chakra. So, what is your aura? Your aura is a field of energy, right? Um, and as I stated earlier, excuse me, folks, I've been a little groggy. Pretty much the whole podcast. Sip some water, Big King. I'm fit too. All right. So, your auric bodies correlate with each chakra, right? So, just as I stated, your aura is not just one aura, it is in layers or auric bodies, however you want to refer to it. It's the same thing. They're energetic fields, right? And the chakras are the energy vortex that is the energetic center, right, of that field. So each of those vortexes is correlating with that whole energetic field. And you have, as I stated earlier, specific organs, organ groups, and bodily systems that are correlating to each chakra or each auric body, all in a very harmonious energetic system, right? When we are in excellent health and when we're doing the work to balance our chakras on a daily basis. I recommend that you balance your chakras on a daily basis. I certainly do so, and have reaped the health rewards because of it. I talk all the time about the fact that I was diagnosed with at least five. There were some other things, some rumblings of some other things, major health ailments, right? From high blood pressure, diabetes, hyperthyroidism, chronic gum disease, and chronic back pain. And I was prescribed medication for all of it. All right. Three of which I was told I would have to be on that medication for my entire life. All right. This was a lifelong prescription, you might say, right? Of course, you have to continue to get your prescriptions filled, but I was prescribed to all of those. And I didn't feel not one, not one of those prescriptions. I didn't feel any of them at all. I changed my diet severely, drastically. I changed my lifestyle drastically. I began to learn more and more about the energetic aspect of myself and how to balance and take control of that, right? I found out, of course, a great deal about myself on a vibrational and frequency level. And I incorporated all this into changes in my lifestyle, right? Getting rid of stress and low vibrational frequency generators, I call them, in my life, and reap the benefits. I literally beat all of that. Subsequently, I did lose quite a bit of weight in the process. And what's interesting, I was recently in a sort of a public forum, not really a public forum, but in a public place. And I was having a discussion, but I think in his mind, a debate with a gentleman who identified himself as a medical doctor. When he heard something I said, I forget but it was, I'm always willing to share, right? So we were having a bit of a discussion about healing and some of the implications, I believe, of vaccines. And it went on to a couple of different areas of the conversation, but it's pretty much centered around the ineffectiveness of Western society's medical, in the medical community, I'll say. Now, don't get me wrong, there are very many incredibly talented and hardworking doctors out there. They're not the problem, right? The problem is the bureaucracy above them. And many times this shows up in the form of government, right? Welcome, please. If you like to announce yourself in chat. If not, that's fine right for right now. Every time I say that, I think that. All right. I ain't saying that no more. Okay, so what was I saying? So anyway, the doctor and I had a discussion about the same thing that I'm spewing to you. I started to tell him about the different ailments that I was diagnosed with and the pharmaceutical remedies or treatments that I was prescribed, right? And I told him the same thing, that I didn't ingest or I didn't fill one of the prescriptions or take any of the treatments or remedies or whatever you want to call it, right? No pharmaceutical solution was part of my process, okay? And I expressed this to him, and that how I overcome all of this. And we talked about the fact of me losing a lot of weight. And he said, well, I'm sure that had a whole lot to do with it. Well, I said, well, please inform me. If it was that simple, why did your colleagues prescribe me all those medications instead of just telling me with the same thing you're alluding to right now? That my losing a lot of weight and changing my diet and lifestyle, in fact, contributed a great deal, right, to me being able to overcome all of those ailments. And another part of that I didn't really get into discussion with him with was that daily I had begun to balance my chakras and gain much better control of the energetic aspect of my healing, the energetic aspect of my health overall, and how I could impact my own personal health through control of my own energy, right? And my vibrational frequency. So that's just my personal sort of testimony and how I've been able to real life apply these things. All right. But yeah, it is very important. I feel like to do this on a daily basis, recognize, acknowledge, right? Because when you speak out, you're taking from thought form, you're introducing intent, and then you're spewing it out as a verbal command to the quantum field. All right. So speak out each of your chakras and then your intention to balance your chakras, right? You have to utilize intention as a tool, right? And as you do so, you want to be regulating your breathing, right? Using deep breathing techniques as best as possible. Because first of all, I don't know if you know this, folks, but when you utilize deep breathing techniques, you open up your lungs and different areas of your lungs that you just naturally tend to not naturally, but the way we've grown accustomed to in this society, you generally don't use during the course of most of your day because you use enough lung function or capacity to do what you do, right? And most of us don't get nearly enough cardiovascular exercise on a daily basis. And because of that, we often do not even inflate certain areas or pockets of our lungs fully to even allow proper oxygenation to the blood flow that is supposed to emanate from those areas and go to specific areas of our body. So this impacts our health and the function of our organs and bodily systems. All right. So deep breathing techniques are very important, to take very deep breaths, right? To hold it just briefly at the top of your breath with a focus on the breath sort of holding in an upward position, and then energetically correlate that pretty much to your crown chakra. As you feel the energy come down through your crown chakra, release the breath as well, slowly as possible. And it goes down that energetic intent and that transfer of your energy down through the crown chakra, all the way down to your root chakra. And then you can use actually what I refer to as a daily Kundalini awakening to bring that energy back up from your chakra to the crown, from your root chakra to the crown chakra, through all 7 of your core chakra. Again, there are more. Like, for example, your Earth Star chakra is at the in between the base of your feet and the crust of the earth, right? That's your direct energetic connection with Gaia, right? But yeah, folks, in general, there's a very powerful and beneficial correlation between your auric bodies, the chakras that correlate with them, and then the organ or organs or organ groups, should I say, or other bodily functional groups or bodily systems, should I say, that correlate to the chakras and the auric bodies. So balancing them and keeping them in balance. What do I mean when I say balance? I mean, picture your energy vortex that is your chakra, something like the yin yang symbol, right? Something akin to that. You see that there's sort of a push pull of energy going on. If you can visualize it that way. You want to always be putting that in balance. This is at least one way to visualize it, right? Another way to balance all of your chakras together, right? So that each chakra is in tune with the other, and that the energy is given to whichever chakra needs it, so to speak, more to attune or achieve balance, right? And one way of doing that is visualizing all your chakras as those pools of energy, and then visualizing them all swirling in the same direction harmoniously, right? And again, saying and speaking out your intention of balance. Because again, when you do that, you are taking your energetic intent, right? You're taking your energy from thought form, you're introducing intent, all right? And then you're taking the energy of that combination and spewing it out as a command into the quantum field, right? And this is what reverberates back to you in a vibrational frequency that is harmonious with your intent. Now, most of the time, like I say, we operate from our subconscious, right? So if you don't balance your intent, your chakras daily, then it's going to go to a subconscious preset that is oftentimes not harmonious and not in balance. And this has a lot to do, and severely, in some instances, impacts the healthy function of those corresponding organ groups and bodily systems. So it is very beneficial and very important in my opinion, my personal opinion, and the opinion in many others, to on a daily basis, balance your chakras, balance your energetic self, right? All your auric bodies, balance all of that in tune with your organs and your organ groups and bodily systems that correspond with each of those auric bodies and each of those chakras, right? And again, we're just pretty much talking about the core seven. Again, your root chakra, your navel chakra, your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra, right? All right. In fact, I'm going to give one more time those correlations for anybody who may not have caught it in the beginning of the podcast. Because you can write this down or rewind it back, do whatever you need to do to have a record for yourself of how you can impact your body by balancing these specific chakras. Now, another thing, before I do that, before I give you that again, another thing I don't want to be remiss in touching on is the use of crystals, right? Crystals are very powerful tools in harnessing and in sort of distributing energy, right? And also that aids you in manipulating vibrational frequency, right? From low vibrational frequency fields to high vibrational frequency fields, right? So this also can aid in your balancing of your chakras and your auric bodies. And there are just the same way each organ, right, or organ group or bodily system correlates to a specific chakra and auric body, right? Or aura layer, however you want to term it. There are also crystals that correlate specifically and aid in balancing specific chakras and or auric bodies, right? Your auric layers. So there are specific crystals, and there's a lot of books out there on this, folks. I even did a video a couple of times, I believe. Early on, I did a video. Deanne, welcome, Deanne. How are you, my dear? So magnificent to see you, right? And thank you for chiming in. Everyone, again, I must remind you always, please check Deanne out and Connecting the Dots with Deanne, her very valuable YouTube channel that will indeed give you a lot of insight and aid you in connecting the dots that are not easily seen. Thank you, Deanne. So yeah, we've been talking about, and yes, folks, we were able to catch the synchronicity and begin at 3:33 today. So that was magnificent. And we just hit 33 in 33 minutes and in 3, 2, 1. Now we caught the 33:33 synchronization with a podcast that began at 3:33. Man, is that powerful. If that ain't a big old tug on the sleeve from the other side of the veil, what is, right? All right. So, but we've been talking about your chakras and the importance of doing daily balancing of your chakras and thus balancing the auric layers or the auric bodies that correlate to each chakra, and how each chakra and auric layer or auric body correlates directly to different organs, organ groups, and bodily systems, right? That's what we've been discussing, or at least what I've been spewing on about, right? And again, I was referring everybody to there are definitely videos in my sort of library of videos. Folks, I have over 600 videos that I have uploaded to my YouTube channel, all positive, high vibe content, of course, informational and inspirational videos, excuse me, and I have most certainly covered this subject in great degree of detail in some of those videos, right? So please, I know it's a lot to comb through, and I'm trying to find or sort of orchestrate. I would love it if on my channel there was a search, and if someone has any information on how I can do this, please share it with me. If on my channel I could make sort of a search, or if there is one that I just am not aware of, a search function where a person can search for like a specific subject matter, and one of my corresponding videos will come up. That would be very beneficial. But anyway, I did just want to refer folks to that fact, and alert you to that fact that I do have videos discussing this in detail there. But yeah, I would love to hear. Deanne, please chime in, and let's talk just a little bit about what you think in terms of, us taking back control and the responsibility actually of our own health by doing the things that we can, like eating the best diet that we can for us specifically, right? Leading is a high vibrational frequency lifestyle as best we possibly can, getting rid of stress and those sort of stress generators from our lifestyle, and making the intentional connection, not only with every atom, not only with our chakras and our auric bodies and putting those in balance, but doing so and making the connection with every atom, molecule, cell, all of your energy, your physical body, all of your divinity, all of your consciousness, all of your multidimensional versions, making connection every day and bringing all of that in balance and harmony as one, right? Is powerful. I can tell you that. My man, God Science, thank you, family, for being here and hollering and spending some time with me, man. It is appreciated, family, truly. All of you who come and share your time with me on the podcast and lend your presence, your thoughts, and your interest to this forum that we're creating with one another is beautiful. And I appreciate all of you, and I love you all. Thank you. Right. So again, we're talking about the importance of making that connection with all of our cells, our physical presence, and all that we are, making the specific connection with each of your chakras and the aura or auric layers or auric bodies that is connected with them. And in turn, doing so, not only bringing balance to your chakra system, but bringing balance to the organs, the organ groups, and bodily systems that correlate to each of your chakra, right? This is very important. And in this society in general, it's not talked about enough. It's not part of our conversation or our education enough that we learn more about the energetic aspects of who and what we are as human beings. That is very important. And the fact that we leave that out very much impacts our lack of health. Folks, if you don't know it, unfortunately, and I'm going to get to the chat in 1 second. I apologize, Deanne. I see you said something there. If you don't know it, in the western part of the world, we have this thought that we've got the best healthcare and this and that. We actually have some of the poorer health and lower life expectancies in the world. Even the mortality rate of our pregnant women as they deliver is among the highest in the world. But we're supposed to have this great and magnificent medical system. And again, no slight to the talented and hardworking and dedicated and good-hearted doctors that are out there, because they are in numbers, right? But like I said earlier, they're not the problem. It's the bureaucracy that is above them and many times ties into government or maybe even shadow government, right? There's a conspiracy alert. Boo, 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 boo. Uh, um, but it ties into hands above their heads. Because folks, and I'm gonna get to the chat right now. I don't want to be neglectful, but I can go on more about that if y'all want, because yeah, I'll get it to the chat. I could be all day on that. Just finished teaching violin. Yes, again, thank you for contributing. Listen, isn't that something we're missing, y'all? They're taking away our appreciation and love and opportunity to learn about music from us at the earliest ages. Our children are losing music class left and right, elementary on up. This is crazy. Okay. Then Deanne also says humming, whistling, and singing help raise vibes as the frequency resonates within you. Yes, yes. And we did some magnificent work with tuning forks, y'all. When I had spent time with Deanne and Heather recently, it was magnificent. All right. Herbal teas and essential oils boost frequencies too. Yes, Deanne, keep it up. Natural, anything natural, folks. In fact, I would be completely remiss if I did not speak to you about, especially with the weather starting to turn and us about to enter spring. Woo! Yeah. Word life, springtime, big time, son. I'm so anxious. And you'll see my melanin drinking in. I'll go about 4 shades darker by the end of the summer. But anyway, literally. But the importance of getting out and getting barefoot in the grass and attuning with Gaia, right? Because Gaia transmits the frequency that tunes us to our true nature and gives and aids our very DNA in expressing itself more fully, right? It is absolutely beneficial to your health and well-being to get outside, get barefoot, connect to the ground, to great Gaia. I also like to connect and acknowledge great brethren, the sun, and great friend, the wind. That's just personally what I do. But get out there, get barefoot in the grass and balance. You will receive and be attuned to the frequency that will aid you the most in all of this energetic balancing. All right. Back to God's science facts. Thanks for acknowledging that, bro. I appreciate that. She said oil measures at around 300. Oh, rose oil. Yes, that's dope. Rose oil measures around 300 hertz frequency. Drop it, connect. Drop it, Deanne. See why y'all need to go to her channel, right? Connecting the dots with Deanne. There was a study done on the Harlem Boys Choir. When children learn music, when they are young, they are less likely to want to be want to destruction in any form. Indeed. And what did I just say they're doing? Taking away music class from our children from elementary school up. Ridiculous. We're going to fight. We've got to fight that. And it's beautiful. We're now getting more of an opportunity. I don't know if you know it, but they're restructuring the entire educational system. A lot of people are fearful of that, but we need to seize the opportunity to be more impactful and give much more input. I love the fact that there is a bipartisan effort and reach out by Congress to Brother Dane Calloway for his and his wife's input and their expertise in historical facts domestically here, dealing with specifically and most prominently the denial of many of us, who have roots here as indigenous, right? But anyway, the point is we're having an opportunity to seize that we can start to be much more impactful and give input into what our children are learning. And they need to have that. So back into what Deanne was saying, I'm sitting on the porch steps with my bare feet on the ground. There you go, Deanne. The dogs are grounded too. They know. They know. The Harlem Boys Choir youth had a very high rate of graduating high school and college than other youths in the same area, right? Because of that. First of all, folks, if you don't know, music is a gift from the other side of the veil. When you engage in musical creation or even in the reciting of or singing of or participating energetically with your feelings and your intent, your attention with music, you are attuning yourself to higher vibrational frequencies. Unless you're listening to something that is specifically and purposely designed to attune you to lower frequencies, and unfortunately, there's a lot of quote unquote music out there like that. I don't actually even consider that music. It's more like noise. All right. Deanne states again, learning to appreciate beauty in early life seems to be the best medicine. I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Indeed, indeed. So, folks, I promised you that once again, I would give you just a quick list that you can either write down or rewind to this point or however you want to be able to refer back to it later. Excuse me. Having some issues with the contacts, but we'll take control of that. Heal the eye, use my innate to coordinate the healing processes in my body that my eye has benefited. And now I can open it without the sting. I'm just telling you, this is how it works in me. My eye was just stinging a moment ago. I didn't put no water in my eye. I didn't drop no drops. I made connection with all of myself physically, and I coordinated it using my innate system, and it healed instantly. You see me looking directly in the camera. In fact, my eye looks like it's open more than it was before I just did that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm in great health, folks. I'm going to be around here a long time. I'm just saying. All right. Also, Deanne went on to say, I want to collaborate with you on the topic of AI for future podcasts. Let's do it. Let's do it. I did an extensive video on that. Yeah, but let's do it. I'd love to coordinate. In fact, I have not filled the slot for next week's topic. And if Brother God Science, please give your opinion. If you're still in here, brother, or anybody else who's in here with us, if y'all don't have any objections, that seems like a magnificent topic for next week, right? Yeah. So accept it. Now we have to figure out. That means we're going to have to be having a few conversations this week on how we can sort of split screen this. Right. I know that we can do it. Not exactly sure how. I have some new insight on AI. Good, beautiful. We'll have to discuss that and we can share it with everyone. That's magnificent. I told y'all, go to Deanne's channel, right? She's got more than a few tidbits. She's got chunks and boulders of knowledge and insight that she can share with you and aiding you in connecting the dots. All right. She says, I have Zoom. Okay. Maybe we can format the podcast next week somehow with Zoom. And still be able to air it here on YouTube and other platforms. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out through the week. But thank you. That's a magnificent idea. I most certainly wholeheartedly accept. So let's call me, and let's talk about it. All right. But yeah, let me give this one time so I'm fulfilling my promise here to do so. Once again, the systems, the organs, organ groups, and bodily systems that correlate with each of your chakra and the org body that associates with it, that is connected with it, should I say. Um, okay, we'll start the other direction this time. We started from the root chakra before. Now we'll start at the bottom at the crown chakra, located right just at excuse me, I did that wrong. We'll start at the root chakra. Your root chakra, located at the base of the spine. This chakra is associated with the kidneys, bladder, bones, and adrenal glands. So when I say bones, I mean your entire skeletal system. Okay, very important that we keep our root chakra in balance. Again, root chakra associated with the kidneys, the bladder, the bones, or your entire skeletal system, and adrenal glands. All right. Okay. The sacral or navel chakra, located below the navel. This chakra is associated generally associated with the reproductive organs. Another thing I wanted to point out that I didn't mention before that this doesn't mention is that, of course, that is associated with your intuition. Had to throw that on there. All right. Okay. Your solar plexus chakra, located in the upper abdomen area. You can't see me pointing to it because I don't have the full body view, but located in the upper abdomen area, the chakra is associated with the spleen and pancreas function. Also, what is not mentioned here and what I didn't mention the first time, folks, your souls, spelled S-O-U-L, in my estimation and through the product of my research and study, are actually soul energy, S-O-L, like solar. And your solar plexus sort of houses your connection, your spiritual connection, right? And your soul energy and how you can direct that also in aiding in your body. That's probably one of the most powerful things that you can learn to, once you get to that level, manipulate and use as a very powerful boost to your entire system, should I say. All right. Let me finish this up. Excuse me. So that was your solar plexus chakra. Again, organ wise and organ system, your spleen and pancreas. All right. The heart chakra, of course, with your heart, is located in the center of your chest, is again associated with your heart, and also the thymus gland. Now, also, I would just want to point out, your heart is your electromagnetic generator, right? It is the reason why we have what is known as um, our energetic field, or many refer to as our biosphere, that our personal biosphere that extends out. Um, Many have estimated just generally, right, about um, about 30 yards, right? It's pretty big, right? Or excuse me, yeah, pardon me, 30 meters, which is even bigger. No, 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 no. Well, there have been some measured at that distance, but the more general and the mean, MEAN, I believe is around 8 meters, which is still close to 30 feet. All right. So um, that is your heart chakra, your heart and your your thymus gland. Okay. Your throat chakra, located in the throat, of course, is the chakra associated with your thyroid, not to be mistaken with the thymus that I just mentioned in association with the heart, but your thyroid gland, your thyroid and your parathyroid glands. All right. And also, it is your throat chakra that it is your throat chakra that you stimulate when you are spewing your intention into the quantum field, and that you're utilizing your throat chakra to energetically interface in that way. All right, but again, the thyroid and parathyroid glands, your third eye chakra, located between the eyebrows, right, is associated with the pituitary gland, right, and the pituitary gland is part of your endocrine system. Okay, very important in the regulation of a lot of your bodily fluids, enzymes, acids, the whole nine. Okay, amino acids, I meant to say, in the whole nine. Okay, that takes us to the last of the core seven, which is your crown chakra. Most they say at the top of your crown or your skull, but really many say just right above your skull. But for these purposes, it says the top of the head. This chakra is associated with the pineal gland, which I also identified that personally I identify and recognize as an organ and differentiate the difference between those that are mechanisms of secreting bodily fluids and those that are actually involved in the production and regulation of bodily fluids, like the pineal organ. All right. Which has direct correlation specifically to those highly melanated and nine ether beings amongst us, right? Myself included. Very important to your neuromelanin regulation and secretion and production. Okay. All right. So you have that you can refer back to. Again, very important that we utilize and are on a daily basis balancing. Utilize this. I say utilize because it's a tool, right? It really is a tool that we can utilize to optimize, to increase, and to aid better function of our organs and bodily systems, right? That on a daily basis we connect with and we balance our chakras and auric bodies, right? It is very important that we start to become active in regulating the good health of our electromagnetic self, our energetic self, as well as our tangible physical self, right? You are not just flesh and bone, you are also energy. All right. And all of that maintains a vibrational frequency. All right. Thank you once again, Deanne. Thank you for Brother God Science chiming in, and for everybody else who chimed in, even folks who didn't announce themselves in the chat. Thank you all. I love you all. I appreciate you all. It's been another wonderful opportunity. If anybody has anything else that they want to state or a question that they want to ask, please do so. Brother God Science, peace, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, listen, I love you. And you don't know how much I appreciate you continuing in this forum with us, right? Same thing to you, Deanne, connecting the dots with Deanne. I love you and I thank you so much for participating in this forum with us. We're going to keep on rolling. We're going to knock out another 21 weeks of this season the same way we knocked out 21 weeks of the first season. And we'll be here together continuing this forum. So I love you all. Thank you all very much. It is very likely that next week the subject matter is going to be referring to AI, and that it will be a show where I will have a dignified and esteemed guest, Deanne from Connecting the Dots with Deanne, and we're going to talk throughout the week and see how we can put that together. But either way, I look forward to seeing all of you next week. I love you all tremendously, and thank you for being here again on another episode of Building with Big King, where we are building. We're actually building the building blocks and putting them in place in sequential order to lay the foundation of our new paradigm that I like to say exhibits peace, love, respect. I love you all. Thank you all. Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq, I'm out.